Hi, welcome. I'm Lisa. This is day 27, and the topic for today is recognizing the Spirit. So we're moving into Christ's vision, and Christ's vision has but one law. It sees beyond the body and beholds the light that is eternally there. And this becomes your choice. So we've just finished a few days of hearing God's voice, and I don't want you to be concerned if you think you don't get it yet or we're going too fast. It all comes together. Because I'm not telling you anything new. I'm actually not teaching you anything. You already know all of this. There's a memory of God in you. And when you remember your identity, you remember everything that I'm telling you. I'm just reminding you of what you have forgotten. And what I want to say today, I want to read a few things from A Course in Miracles. And I want you to remember that the goal is peace. And when peace is accomplished, everything else takes care of itself. And oftentimes people think physical healing is the highest accomplishment, and it's not. It says in A Course in Miracles that salvation is your happiest accomplishment. And salvation is a promise made by God that you would find your way back to Him. And I love that, because once that's established, and this is why miracles take no time, because you can reach this peace today. And when I started working with Christ, and we're going to move into this next week, of really seeing what your purpose is here in the world, and listening to God's voice, and making yourself available only for His purposes, that your will becomes one with God, is I was asked to make a promise that the focus would never be on me, and the focus would never be on physical healing. And this is what Jesus was demonstrating in the stories from 2,000 years ago. He would physically heal someone. He actually didn't physically heal anyone. It just happened. But he would say, don't tell anyone. And of course, they went and told everyone. But because he knew that's not what the goal was. And everyone thinks, no, that is the goal. I just want to be healed of this pain, and then I can fulfill my function in the world, and then I'll be happy. No, you have to go and be happy now and begin to fulfill your function now. And then everything else falls into place. And I used to try to physically heal people. And what I found out was that many people use sickness as a way of life. And that can't be taken away from anyone. And I was told just to remember what I am, to see the light in everyone, and stay in joy. And that's all I do. And physical healing occurs, but that's never the focus anymore. The focus is always on reminding everyone who they are. So I wanted to read here from the Teacher's Manual, and what I asked for you to read today is from chapter 31, Recognizing the Spirit. It says here that there's one great final surprise, and I want you to find it today. Because what it's saying is that as your awareness increases, you may develop special abilities. You may become psychic, you may be able to hear a voice, you may suddenly find yourself with healing ability. And what it says is, as his awareness increases, he may well develop abilities that seem quite startling to him. Yet nothing he can do can compare even the slightest with the glorious surprise of remembering who he is. Let all his learning and all his efforts be directed towards this one great final surprise. And it's a great final surprise when you remember you're all light. You remember your innocence. You remember your holiness. You remember the love that you are. You remember that everyone you meet is you. Everyone you see is you. It's a great surprise, you know. It's just like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of all of this, and it's all God, and it's all love, and it's all me. And so whenever I hear people say they're bored, like, I know that they haven't had this realization yet, because once you have it, it's like everything is seen differently now. So it says, let all his learning and all his efforts be directed towards this one great final surprise, and he will not be content to be delayed by the little ones that may come to him on the way. And it says, The limits the world places on communication are the chief barriers to direct experience of the Holy Spirit, whose presence is always here. That's the great final surprise, when you remember you're not alone. And you're able to see the light that's in another, and whose voice is available but for the hearing. And it says these limits are placed there out of fear. So those are the fences. For without them, the walls that surround all the separate places of the world would fall at the holy sound of his voice. Who transcends these limits in any way is merely becoming more natural. He is doing nothing special, and there is no magic in his accomplishment. So that's what I'm asking of you, to simply transcend your stories, transcend your limits, transcend the fear, get above the battleground, and find the peace of God that is yours, and it's here for you today. And recognizing the Spirit, I love it. I want you to read chapter 31 in A Course in Miracles, and it says, you see the flesh or recognize the Spirit. There is no compromise between these two. If one is real, the other must be false, for what is real denies its opposite. There is no choice in vision but this one. And then it says, what you choose determines all you see and think is real and hold is true. On this one choice does all your world depend, for here you have established what you are as flesh or spirit in your own belief. So what it says is, it says here, I love it, it says, salvation does not ask that you behold the spirit and behold the body not. It merely asks that this should be your choice. And you can do this. You absolutely can do this, and I want you to see it today. So often we've already been taught to see beyond skin appearance, and to see beyond gender, and to see beyond age. And we already have been taught these things, and to see the person that's there. And many people already know how to do this. We say, okay, I'm not going to look at the appearance of the body, I'm going to see the person. And what Christ vision does is ask for you to see beyond the person, to see the light that's there. So you're seeing beyond the skin color, beyond age, beyond gender, and now you're seeing beyond stories. You're seeing beyond the beliefs, and you still see the body. I still always see the body of the other person. I always still hear the stories. I hear what people are saying. So it's not like you have your head in the sand and you're just sprouting out positive affirmations. It's that you're centered wherever you are, remembering what you are. I am light. I'm sent by God. Christ is here. And you're remembering that this is a holy encounter, and you're seeing right through someone's stories. You're seeing right through their personality, right through their identity, and you see only their holiness. You see only their innocence, and you also see their belief system. You see, they have forgotten what they are. They would not be telling the story in the same way that each one of us had that experience. I had to have a teacher who had to remind me, you're not your stories. And now I'm doing the same for you, and then you're going to be doing the same for others. But for right now, this is why I asked for the 40 days, just to stay in your circle, stay in this place, and practice with these ideas so that you have this direct experience of joining. And you begin to see you can do this. And you see the light that's there. And you don't need to see angels first. You don't need to see Jesus's body. You don't need to see anything. And this is why I love A Course in Miracles, because it gives us these practical tools that we can begin to use. And as you pay attention to the light, and that becomes your focus, it's like I was saying, yesterday, everything else falls away. All the sickness, the illusion, it all just falls away. And what I love about this lesson is that it gets the energy moving. So what happens before is like we're in a self-contained bubble, of worrying about yourself and thinking about your grievances. And what this work does, as you make a decision to see the light in others because you see it in yourself, this is what giving is. And this is necessary for you to remember what you are. Is so now you're allowing this light to flow through you. So whenever you think of another person, you are choosing to see the light in them. You're choosing to look beyond the story, look beyond your own grievances. This is what giving is. This is flowing the energy. It's moving it. It's moving the light. You're sharing it now. And you never have to tell another person what you're doing. But you begin to feel better. You feel happy. You feel at peace. You feel the joining. You feel the power of it. And so today I simply ask you all day to recognize the spirit in yourself, in others, and see the light there. And see that you can do it. See that when someone's standing in front of you and they're telling a story, that you're just in love. And you're seeing the love that they are. And keep your mind open also to listening. Just listening to what's coming to you. And if there's anything to say, and should you say it, and then you say it. And or not, it's just about, we are practicing, and I'm so happy that you're here. This is a reversal of everything we've been taught in the world, and we're going to be moving into working with Christ. And what is your purpose here? I'm going to be moving into topics on abundance, and I'm going to look at some issues of money, since that's a huge block for many people. But I didn't want to start there because people get trapped in that. They just think, I just want my body healed and I want more money. And that's not the solution. The solution is to remember who you are, and then everything begins to fall in place. And that's what I wanted you to see. So thank you for being here. I love you. I honor you. I bless you. I see you.